Hi, I'm Peter Rakowski. You probably don't know me, but you probably know these guys. The Jake Elwood, the Blues Brothers. So I'm Patty from Chicago Footprints. And to tell you a little about me, I'm a Chicagoan. I live in the western suburbs, about 20 miles west of Chicago. Happily married for 30 years to a guy we all know as Uncle Wayne. We have no kids, but we have season tickets, and we know that you can't have both. Um, I have been a writer, a bookseller, a newspaper reporter, a factory worker, an auto worker, a telecom worker. I worked in telecom for 20 years. I was a mobile app builder, and for the most part, I was an admin for the last 30 years or so. And after working for 50 years, last year I retired to do two things, to help local businesses with their marketing and to become an e-com um, store owner and designer of shirts and other stuff, mostly focused on Chicago. So let's see if I can show you my shirt, one of my shirts. This is Chicago Med, Chicago PD, Chicago Fire, Chicago Proud. Anyway, if you aren't familiar, those are three shows that are filmed in Chicago, and we watch them mostly because when they're turning left on Racine, and they say they're on East Racine or whatever, we know we know better, and we have to pick up on all that stuff. So if you're not a Chicagoan, you probably don't notice it, but in Chicago we notice it. So um, anyway, so I do have e-com stores, and they are called Chicago Footprints. I'm on a few different platforms. Um, right now, I have all my stores on vacation. Um, I don't want anyone to risk their health or their life to go in to a factory to print a shirt. I don't need the money that bad, and you don't need my shirts that bad. But when and if my shirts are, my stuff is back online, I'll be happy to tell you all about Chicago Footprints and show you some of my designs. The experts say that you should focus on your passion, and my passion is Chicago, where I was born and raised and been here way more than 60 years. So anyway, I doing a new YouTube channel called Chicago Footprints, and wanted to talk about things I think that you want to know about. So first of all, happy 183rd birthday to Chicago. We've been around a long time. Many of you know Chicago, but I want to tell you about things that you may or may not know about. So I want to tell you about Chicago Dibs, Chicago Critters, Crocodiles, Coyotes, Chicago movies, not the least of which is the Blues Brothers, Chicago TV shows, and the ones that are made here in Chicago. Navy Pier, Chicago Pride is very big here, a very big gay community here. Chicago Airports, Chicago Transit Authority, both the band and the institution. Chicago Garage Bands, and they're still around. And when I was a kid, I rode on my bicycle around to different garages, and we would listen to bands. And some of those bands are still around. Chicago Neighborhoods, Chicago Gangsters. I know you want to know about that. Chicago to a T. That's my way of describing navigation in Chicago, and I'll tell you about that. The Windy City, why it's called the Windy City. It's not what you think. The lights at Wrigley Field. I want to talk about that. The sports in Chicago. I'm a big sports person. Softball. It's big in Chicago. Pickleball. So is pickleball. The Ivy. Steve Goodman and Jimmy Buffett and their connection to the city. Chicago Suburbanites. The Cheddar Curtain, which when you cross the Cheddar Curtain into Wisconsin, to be with the Cheeseheads, as they don't mind being called, they don't welcome us. St. Patrick's Day in Chicago, which I think now will be celebrated in October, which is okay. Cub fans versus Sox fans, and that's pretty hairy there. Hockey in Chicago, one of my favorite topics. I love Chicago. I love hockey. Um, when we got married, I told him I was marrying him for his hockey tickets. And it was him or my cats. My cats didn't have hockey tickets, and he did. So I teased that I married Uncle Wayne for his hockey tickets. We want to talk about concerts in Chicago. Summer concerts, mostly free, all over the city and the suburbs. We know you want to hear about Chicago pizza. And I want to tell you about the Uncle Wayne, or maybe I'll let him tell you, the Uncle Wayne tour of Chicago. Things that you probably would not see otherwise or know about. So those are the things I think you might want to know about that I was preparing YouTube videos for. But if there's other things, please let me know. One more thing, I want to introduce you. This is my mom's robotic cat. She's cute. And she keeps us company. My mom passed away a few months ago, and that's our she reminds us all the time when she meows and purrs that, that my mom's still around. So anyway, I'm Patty, and I'm here from Chicago Footprints to let you know all you want to know about Chicago. I'm happy to either tell you if I know or find out if I don't know. This is the place to come when you want to hear all about Chicago. Now, I know when you do a YouTube video, you're supposed to have an intro and an outro, music and all that. I'll get to all that. I just wanted to get started and tell you what I am going to do with my YouTube channel, my Chicago Footprints YouTube channel. So thanks for tuning in, and hope you come back. Please feel free to click below that you like, thumbs up, thumbs down. Let me know what you like or don't like and what you want to hear about. Thanks.